In all my Language Lab courses, the default time zone set automatically is to Eastern Time. And so if you are in a time zone other than Eastern Time, one of the first things you should do after you create your course or program is to set your course time zone and profile time zone. This will help all your students as well, as you can actually set your course time zone to automatically be set to the time zone that you're in. This makes it really easy, as this will not make any work on your students and they will not need to set their own time zone. They will automatically be set to the time zone in your course when they log in to your specific course. Instructions on how to set your time zone will always appear on your Getting Started page called Set Your Time Zone, and you can always refer back to that document to walk through the steps that I'll be talking about during this video. There are two places that you'll want to check and change your time zone. It's best to do this before you have created any assignments, but you can still change your time zone at any time, even if you have assignments on your calendar. Just please follow these steps to ensure that your time zone will get set appropriately. This will also affect the due times on your calendar of the due dates for homework assignments. So it's really important to make sure your time zone is set so your students can submit their homework in the appropriate time zone and on time. Go to your preferences in the upper right hand corner to set your course time zone. From your preference area, you'll notice you'll have a menu option called Time Zone and Localization. Click that. And from your time zone and localization, you'll see that you'll have a default course time zone. It'll automatically be set to Eastern Time, but you can change this to any of the time zones. Select your time zone. For instance, I'll switch to Pacific Time. And you'll also want to double check to make sure that the option of Course Overrides User Profile Preferences is selected. When this preference is selected, this will automatically set the time zone for any student that enrolls in this specific course of yours. And the student will not need to set their own time zone. If you have students from multiple different time zones, you can change this to User Profile Overrides the Course Preferences. If you do change it to this, your students will need to ensure that they set their profile time zone, which I'll show during the second part of this video. Most instructors tend to keep this set to Course Overrides, as this has the most friendly experience for your students. Once you have this set, click Save Preferences to update your time zone. And there's one other place you'll need to click as well to ensure that your assignments on your calendar are set to the correct time zone. Go back to General Preferences, and under General Preferences, you'll notice that you have the ability to set the due time for all your activities on your calendar. This due time is automatically set to 11:59 p.m. You can adjust this to any time you wish, but even if you still would like it set to 11:59 p.m., please click Apply to All to make sure that the time zone gets adjusted to all your assignments on your calendar correctly. Click Apply to All, and your due time has now been updated successfully in your course. To also adjust your profile time zone settings, go up to the upper right hand corner and click My Profile. This is your profile of your account for MyLanguageLabs as an instructor. This will be saved for future semesters. Use the drop-down list and select your time zone, and then click Save. The My Profile setting is always available throughout your course, so even from your home page of My Courses and Test Banks, you can always check your profile. This is also the same place the student will adjust their time zone if you did decide to change your course settings to allow the student to adjust their specific time zone. For a student to set their time zone, they would click My Profile and select their time zone and click Save. Please note though, if you did keep the default setting of the course overrides, your students do not need to set their own time zone. They will automatically be set to the time zone inside your course. Keep in mind too that you'll need to set your course time zone for each course that you create in your MyLanguageLab course. For future semesters, if you decide to copy your course and you've already set your course time zone to your specific time zone setting, when you copy your course, your time zone setting will be saved, and you will not need to reset it for future semesters. If you do create new courses from the catalog, you will need to keep in mind to set the time zone for those courses as well. If you are using a program version of the course, one of the best practices is to set your course time zone in your template first. You do that by the same way that you would do it in a course. But by setting it up in the template first and setting up your time zone settings, when you then create sections, all your sections will automatically be set to your course time zone. And any instructor that enrolls in those sections will also have that course time zone setting applied. We do recommend that instructors set their own My Profile time zone setting, but the instructors would not have to worry about the sections themselves. If you are realizing this after the fact and you've set up your sections already, you can go into each section individually, or the instructor enrolled can go in individually and set the course time zone setting by the steps that I discussed earlier in this video. You'll just need to apply them per section. Going forward, if you decide to copy a section or to copy a template, your course time zone settings will be saved for future semesters. This concludes best practices on setting up your course time zone in your MyLanguageLab courses.